and the learned Farida Nakubuma. We run an all joint council. Joint council for the accused person. All joint counsel for the accused persons, and we shall relate in submissions by the learned caregivers, Alex Mujanda, and Apuru actually. Yes, and that's how we intend to proceed. But there was, when I saw the last time we appeared, we opened application in respect to two applicants. That is S4 and S6. Several former Eddy and Yasin. Secondly, we made an application to provide further particulars specifically. Letters of introduction will not append that day. Which application was granted. We intend to start with that. In less 5 minutes, it should be good. You are most obliged, and that will be Apuru or Kato. Yes. Actually, yeah, for the record, we filed. For the record, particulars, securities, and letters that we refer to were filed, dismissed, and served upon the state. That's why I thought it would take just.
You mentioned only F4 and
S7. S7.
S7 is good.
Yes.
A4 A6.
Yes.
I also
Specifically.
noticed that there were letters of Saudamada.
Yes.
That is F.
That's A9.
For that one, it was further particulars. That's the you oblige permission to start.
Especially for the record, I'm Dr. Sim. And I'm presenting sureties for A4. Edwin Seven. The first one is Muma. Please step forward. Step forward. Worship. Muma is 49 years. Mark ID is 49 years and is a resident of Namasuba Central Zone in Makinde. Worship is a driver by profession and he drives a special hire in Kampala. Is a father to the accused person. And his contact is 0751 36 7200. The second is Kasekende Joseph. forward your ID. A second is 38 years. And is a resident of Namasuva Central Zone in Makinde. Your chief is a border rider by occupation. He's a long-time friend and a neighbor. He's a long-time friend and a neighbor to the person. His contact is 0752 47 6796. Your Worship, we have also provided a copy of the introductory letter for the accused person and this copy of national ID. A6 is Nyanzi Yasin. I will invite Ateeredwa. Please step forward. Ateeredwa Chikoso. Ateeredwa Chikoso is aged 61 years. Is a resident of Nabalala. Is a resident of Nabalala in Kanyanya Town Council. He's a farmer and a landlord who owns houses in Nabalala, and he's an uncle. He's a accused person. His telephone contact is 0700 38 5300. The second surety is the intensive Joelia. Please come forward. This is 52 years, and she's a resident of Namasuva Ward, Masaja in Makinde. She is a trader by profession and she operates in Ono Market. She's an auntie to the accused person, and his contact is 0757 31 66. The contact it is 0757 18 31 66. Your Worship, we have also provided an introductory letter for the accused person. Your Worship, we have also... Yes, no, I'm concluding, Your Worship.
Was for organizing yourself.
Yeah, Your Worship, I've presented the introductory letter confirming this place of abode. Your Worship, I'm also presenting an introductory letter for A9, which was that is Sauda Madada. Your Worship, we have also explained to the sureties, missionary corporate and the accused people, the worship, they abide to be bound by the same. Pray that God finds them substantial and grant that people pray as we prayed for.
That closes our case.
Your Honor, this case was adjourned today for prosecution's response to the previous bail application. We intend to submit 10 affidavits in respect of the 10 accused persons. Jointly, we're going to present them, I myself, Sharon, Nambia, and Council Bruce Twanjire. Council Bruce Twanjire is going to present the first three. And then we shall be interchanging.
Can you give us the order for the first three? Who is the first one, the second, and the third?
Your Worship. Everyone is Edward Alliance Eddy. Petru is Chivumbi Achillel. A3 is Tassil Calvary alias Bobby Giant. Your Worship, maybe before I respond to the various applications, Your Honor, just a few moments ago, the court was provided with documents in respect to A4, that is from Eddy, that is Nyanzi. And also, Your Worship, the documents that were presented were for the sureties of those two applicants. Your Honor, the court was also provided with the introductory letter for A9, that is Nabalala. Your Worship, we, as the prosecution, and this is on court record, that A6 Nyanzi Yasin had presented two sureties, that is Nam Haji Abbas and Nanyanzi Asia. Your Worship, it appears A6 has dropped both sureties. Is that correct?
No.
You're adding most of that. Be that as it may, Your Honor, the prosecution for A4, Your Honor, he presented only, this was on the 8th of September, he presented only Nachanzi right here.
That's the position.
Your Honor, the prosecution, for each of these two applicants, the defense has presented two more sureties. And the court at the last sitting granted the prosecution leave to verify the documents as presented by the applicants and the respective sureties. Your Honor, the law envisages as the prosecution phrase, the law envisages time to be granted to the state to verify. Your Honor, this is in the constitutional guidelines. Your Honor, there is also case law from a court of record, Your Honor. We refer the court to the ruling Honorable Justice George Okello, in the High Court of Uganda at Gulu. Your Honor, this is the ruling is criminal miscellaneous application number 4 of 2023. Your Honor, the decision of the court is as recent as the 6th of October 2023. The learned judge, Your Honor, allowed the state as prayed for time to verify the details of the sureties that are presented. Your Honor, we pray that the court is inclined to defer, if anything, the state's response in respect to A6 and A6 and A4, Your Honor, for the reasons that we have been ambushed, and we, for all intents and purposes, have to assist the court to reach a decision as to whether these are worthy of granting bail by verification. Your Honor, with that said, Your Honor, that goes also for the introductory letter as presented by A9. With that said, Your Honor, I will quickly refer this honorable court to the affidavits as the pond by the officers of the respondent. We served them on all of them.
We received this today.
Now, this
Now, actually, we are here, except for that authority, we need anything from you also.
I've given a copy to your colleague, Counsel Ocheng. Worship, we pray that we invite the court to adopt. Worship, this submission is in regards to applicant number 1, Segufu Edward Alliance Eddy. Worship, for housekeeping purposes, we intend to follow the same chronology of the applicants. Worship, the affidavit is deposed by Detective ASP Ataike Sarah. Worship, the General of Uganda, the Detective Police Officer, working under Criminal Investigations Directorate, attached to KMP North. That is according to, she is an investigating officer, therefore she is in position or is brought capacity to defend this affidavit. Worship, briefly, under paragraph 3, I don't intend to take all day. The applicant is charged with unlawful drilling, conspiracy to commit a felony. Worship, the offense of unlawful drilling attracts a maximum imprisonment term of 7 years. Worship, the applicant is charged under 3C, is charged with, among others, a capital offense of aggravated robbery, right Wangala B 44 of 25, court case number Massacre CO 2793 2024, and he is awaiting trial. Your Honor, the deponent has attached a copy of the charge sheet and committal papers in the case that is before the High Court in Massacre. Worship, in that case also, if the applicant to be convicted, he risks to suffer death, which is the maximum. Worship, by now, the court may have taken judicial notice from paragraph 4, where one of the prosecution's potential witnesses is on camera and therefore, Worship, paragraph 4, for expediency, Your Honor, I will not mention the name, but under paragraph 4, the person indicated therein is a potential prosecution witness. Your Honor, he is on record social media, name it, TV. He appeared on one of the TV stations. He is a colleague and a subordinate of the applicant, and therefore the prosecution's fear is plausible that this applicant is capable of influencing or intimidating or coercing some of the prosecution's witnesses, thereby interfering with investigations. Your Worship, this is a case, the charges with which the applicant is charged is of a serious nature. Investigations under paragraph 6.
Let me have that old woman have a seat. Prisoners, give her seat to her side. That old woman.
Worship, some of these cut across all the applicants in opposition to the various applications. Several suspects are still at large. There is a real likelihood that the applicant will interfere with investigations should the court be inclined to grant bail. Your Worship, under paragraph 10, under paragraph 9, we note that all the sureties made by the applicant are younger than the applicant by more than 10 years. And therefore, only 3 sureties. There is a huge age difference between themselves and the applicant. Right under paragraph 11, one of the sureties, Ms. Sharon, is subject to investigations. Pursuant to section 77C and G of the Registration of Persons Act, Cap 332, Vide Kawempe GEF 90 2025, the worship relating to the offences related to identification cards. Your Worship, some of these cut across where some of these sureties are presenting before court particulars of telephone numbers that are not registered in their names. Your Worship, we have attached on the affidavit the charge sheet in Masaka and the commitment and summary of evidence in that case, and the KYC of the number that was presented by one of the sureties. These were obtained through a court order. As the court will note, they are certified by the issuing telecommunication company. Your Worship, that is it for A1, applicant number 1. I will proceed to applicant number 2. That is Ateeredwa. Your Honor, without wasting so much of court's time, the Ateeredwa is a co-accused of applicant number 1 in the case committed in the High Court of Masaka. And both their bail applications in Ateeredwa and 3 others versus Uganda, consolidated criminal bail applications number 15, 16, 17, and 21 of 2025 were dismissed by the High Court at Masaka for, among other reasons, public interest. Your Honor, we will come to that during our submissions, what public interest means in this case. Your Honor, under paragraph 8, the court will have all the time to, but I thought it prudent to also mention that the investigating officer very believes that the applicant's proposed sureties are not substantial to guarantee. Under paragraph 8, guarantee the applicant to challenge court, considering no evidence was laid to prove their authority to compel the applicant. Your Worship, we have availed she states that the motion was in the public interest. Your Honor, we will submit on why we believe that this is the case. Public interest, and we will submit. I hope that we shall sway the court to in its reasoning to not grant bail, that this is in fact a case that is of public interest. In its reasoning, Your Honor, to deny these applications, not just for A1 and 2, but we will explain why the prosecution says that this is a case of public interest. Your Honor, I will quickly run to applicant number 3. The applicant is also charged of unlawful reading A3 is Chassis Calvin, alias Bobby Giant. Your Honor, the charge with which the applicant, the offense with which the applicant is charged, and the conspiracy to commit the same, is a felony. And in fact, attracts a maximum imprisonment sentence of up to 7 years. Worship, one of the sureties that Worship, in paragraph 4, we note that applicant number 4 paragraph. Your Worship, we note that this applicant while giving his police statement, he informed the police that one of his telephone contacts is 0778 22 85 75. Your Honor, he in fact signed that police statement. Your Honor, it is subject to investigations also. Provide however GEF 90 of 2025. Your Honor, why we think this is important, should the court be inclined to grant these applicants, for their sureties may be very difficult to trace should the applicants skip bail. And this is synonymous with persons who have the propensity, Your Honor, to engage in dubious or criminal activities. Your Honor, under paragraph 11, the deponent, Detective SP Nwamanya Samuel Pinuzile, states that he verily believes that the applicant's proposed sureties are not substantial to guarantee the applicants returning to court, considering that no evidence was laid to prove their authority to compel the applicant to attend court should the court be inclined to grant bail. Your Honor, my colleague will proceed with applicant 4, 5, and 6. Most obliged.
You have 3 sick persons who probably need to start. 6.
This affidavit is sworn in respect of Sarah Kumar Eddy, alias Eddy King Kareja. It's deposed by Detective ASP Kataiko Sarah, police officer attached to KMP Law. Your Honor, the applicant now before court stands charged with unlawful drilling.
Those who cannot keep quiet, I'll ask my court orderly to send them out. Let us observe silence in court. Proceed to
The
your statement.
applicant stands charged with the offense of unlawful drilling, which is contrary to section 45(1)(b), and conspiracy to commit a felony contrary to section 363 of the Penal Code. Right, one against CRB 131 of 2025. Your Honor, the offense with which the applicant is charged is a felony, and it attracts a maximum imprisonment term of 7 years. Your Honor, the applicant has other pending charges to wit common nuisance, void 1 against CRB 637 of 2025, and a copy of a charge sheet is herein attached onto the affidavit. Your Honor, the state verily believes, as per paragraph 5, that the applicant will abscond once released on bail, since the charges against him are of a serious nature. Your Honor, in addition, in accordance to paragraph 6, the applicant has the capacity to influence the respondent's potential witnesses, that's interfering with witnesses, including one of the witnesses who is mentioned under paragraph 6, who are his peers. Your Honor, under paragraph 7, we verified the particulars of the applicant's proposed sole surety license rank here, and we obtained a court order to inspect telephone number 075 380 3582 and confirmed that the same is not registered in the surety's name. Attached onto this affidavit is the KYC marked B. Your Honor, pursuant to sections 77C and G of the Registration of Persons Act, Cap 322, the police immediately commenced investigations via Kawempe GF 90 of 2025 into the offences related to identification cards. Your Honor, as we move on to paragraph 9, we verily believe that the applicant's sole proposed surety is not substantial to guarantee the applicant's return to court, considering that no evidence was adduced to prove a role to compel the applicant to attend court as and when they are needed. And Your Honor, like my colleague said, this cuts across the board. Finally, as we discussed on this affidavit, we had before the defense had availed us the national identification and introductory letter. We had included paragraph 11 into the affidavit, but now that the defense has provided, we need time to verify, as my colleague has very cited the law. Therefore, Your Honor, we pray that this court does not grant bail to the applicant. Your Honor, we move on to the affidavit in respect of the Kenya Shari profile. The applicant, Your Honor, stands charged with the offense of unlawful drilling, conspiracy to commit a felony, Bride 1 CRB 131 of 2025. And the offense carries a maximum penalty of 7 years. In respect of this applicant as well, there are pending charges against the applicant, to which a charge of common nuisance, Bride 1 CRB 637 of 2025. Your Honor, attached onto this affidavit is a charge sheet marked A. Your Honor, the prosecution verily believes that the people will abscond once released on bail, given the multiple charges that the applicant faces. In addition, under paragraph 6, there are several suspects who are still at large, and releasing the applicant makes it likely that it interferes with investigations. Your Honor, the investigations are in advanced stages, and therefore there is no likelihood of a substantial delay in the prosecution of this case. Under paragraph 8, Your Honor, the applicant has the capacity to influence the respondent's potential witness named therein. Who is a peer and their colleague. Your Honor, we verily believe that the proposed sureties, Sempala Godfrey and Wabire Ismail, are not substantial to guarantee the applicant's returning to court for trial, since no evidence was adduced to prove their authority to compel the applicant, given they are in the same age bracket. We humbly pray that it is just, equitable, and in public interest that the application for bail by the applicant is dismissed as well. Regarding S6, that is Nyanzi Yasin. Your Honor, just like the others, is charged with unlawful drilling and conspiracy to commit a felony. Bride 1 CRB 131 for 2025. the offense with which the applicant is charged carries a maximum imprisonment term of 7 years. There are pending charges against the applicant, to which common nuisance, right, 1 CRB 637 of 2025. Most copy of charge sheet is here attached onto the affidavit. Your Honor, we verily believe that the applicant will abscond once released on bail, given the multiple charges the applicant faces. There are several suspects still at large. Releasing the applicant makes it likely that he will interfere with investigations. Your Honor, like I said before in the previous affidavit, the investigations are in their advanced stages and therefore there is no likelihood of a substantial delay in the prosecution of this case. Under paragraph 8, prosecution verily states that, like the rest, this applicant has the capacity to influence witnesses, to interfere with witnesses. For example, that witness, they are named under paragraph 8, who is a peer and a colleague. We verily believe that the applicant's proposed sureties, including Namhaji Abbas and Najanzi Aisha, are not substantial to guarantee the applicant's return in court for trial, since no evidence was adduced to prove their authority to compel the applicant. Your Honor, in addition to that, under paragraph 10, in the verification of the particulars of Nanyanzi Asia, the prosecution obtained a court order to inspect telephone number 0775 463 753, which, upon analysis of the KYC, the prosecution established that it was not registered in her name. Attached here too is the court order to inspect that telephone number. The court order, Your Honor, is marked B. Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Your Worship, if it's not there, it's probably an oversight. That would go very.
Just for the copy for the worship, the defense equally doesn't have the said on the promise of
I think Your Honor, it was an oversight that we can provide, but we have those court orders.
Defense team needs to have a rejoinder. Yeah. Yes, this is an additional.
My colleague is working on that. By the time we finish, we'll have a way of them. So Your Honor, we obtained this court order because pursuant to section 77C and G of the Registration of Persons Act, Part 322, the police had to commence investigations. Provide, however, GF 90 of 2025 in 2 offenses related to identification cards. We verily believe, Your Honor, that the applicant will abscond once released on bail, since the charges against him are of a serious nature. Your Honor, as we end this affidavit under paragraph 13, Nanyanzi Asia, a biological daughter to the applicant, cannot certainly compel the applicant to attend trial, considering that she's a daughter and younger and dependent on the applicant. We humbly pray that this court dismisses the applicant's bail application as well. Your Honor, my colleague is going to proceed with the next three applicants.
A few questions that came.
Yes, Your Worship, I just think privilege to make sure that here we have the Thank you. Your Worship, 87 years. 87 is West yes. You should be that in a position to A7's application for bail is defined by Detective Superintendent Woman Samuel male adult in London, attached to KMP. You actually find that paragraph 3 states that the applicant is charged with unlawful drilling, the conspiracy to commit felony, by one day CRB 131 2025. The offense of facts should be convicted to the maximum imprisonment term of 7 years. Your Worship, S7 is also charged, or they are pending charges, Your Honor, against A7 by one day CRB 637 of 2025. Under paragraph 6, it states that there are other suspects that are still at large.